I'm here with the Senior Associate for Athletic Communications at Tarleton State University, Jake Withee. Jake, did I get your title right?
Pretty close, pretty close.
Pretty
Call me the
close.
comms guy. That's all I say to people.
Well, look, you're an integral part of Tarleton, and I want to start out by saying we really appreciate the relationship that we have at Dave Campbell's with Tarleton. It is a wonderful relationship. It's been going on for a few years. And we really appreciate the support with the magazine and everything that you guys give us. And I want to highlight what's been going on at Tarleton because I don't know that people truly understand the progress made at that university in the last like 6 years.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And I'll start back with I was sitting in, you had the ESPN2 game, nationally televised game, big deal, open the season against McNeese. And I was sitting there and I was thinking back to 2018 when I was sitting in the press box on the other side and had the sun in my eyes when they were beating Azusa Pacific, 58-0. And I just looked around and I went, this entire place has changed. Just starting with the football facilities itself. Tell us what improvements have been made just since 2018.
Yeah, so I've been here for 3 years, and in the 3 years I've been here, that's changed dramatically. And I was told that it changed from 2018 in that 3 year span. So 6 years, I can imagine the whole transformation of everything. Honestly, when I was kind of, I guess, recruited here, if it would have looked maybe how it looked in 2018, maybe I wouldn't have come, because a big reason why I came here, coming from Phoenix, is the campus was awesome campus. The facilities were looking great, and there was the expectation, and what was told me, that they were going to be growing and renovating, and they stayed true to their word. They grew, they renovated. So football specifically, they had the big stadium renovation, and then they've just been adding to it, expanding. They had they added north end seating. We pretty much maxed out capacity for a game. My first season here, they dubbed it Mission 15K, to have 15,000 students, or 50,000 fans at the game. And they succeeded, and they had to bring in temporary bleachers to succeed at that. And so the next point is, well, we need some permanent bleacher seating for when we want to have that big crowd again. And we've consistently gotten great crowds over the last couple of seasons. Especially we've added a lot of seating when we host a playoff game, when that comes to fruition, that'll be fantastic environment to be part of. So they added the seating up there. They've renovated the field house. They just changed it up again. And so they added a big nutrition room, team meeting room. So now they're feeding the whole team there in that room. They get a nice hot meal instead of having to go to the dining hall, which is cross campus there. That's all pretty much right there. You go to your locker room, then you go eat your meal after practice and things like that. They added coaching offices for every single coach, pretty much. No more bunking up or doubling up like it used to be. They even have a barber shop now, and that's utilized. You might not think it's utilized, but when I walk down there consistently down the hall, I'm passing by a couple players cutting each other's hair in there. So, and then you have the locker room is just it's fantastic, and still growing. I know they have plans to, I believe, at some point renovate that east side. That's kind of the last piece of the puzzle, or whatever that come to be. But I mean, everything about Memorial Stadium, and yeah, you know better than I do from those days, and how long you've been covering them, and you referenced 2018, how much it's changed.
Yeah, it was 7,400 seats in 2018. It's now 24,000 seats,
Yeah.
and you walked me through the new facilities, not the locker room specifically, but the new field house area, a lot of the portions of that. And no, you're right, man. When I walk by that barber shop, it doesn't look like anything that's being used. Like, it's really neat the way it's got the chair and the way it's set up, and to know that that's there, right? Like, it just shows, have a barber shop at a field house. That's an extra level, but that's what Tarleton does. Like, they've done everything on this to the top level, and they continue to do that too. I mean, look, you've got Wisdom Gym that has been tremendous for the basketball program, but tell us about that new event center that's being built right across the street from the football stadium.
Yeah, so that game on ESPN2, I know a lot of people came up to me afterward because they didn't realize maybe if they're not here on campus, they forget that we're building a new arena. And so while we're playing the football game on ESPN2, a lot of those shots when they'd go kick a field goal in the south end zone, you're seeing that arena and all the cranes over the video board there. A new event center will be planned to open up in fall of 2025. So it's right around the corner. And yeah, you'll have both basketball programs playing there. Will be the home for cheer and dance as well, and then all the events that Stephenville can benefit from and offer. So concerts, maybe some FFA events, other, I don't know, chamber of commerce events, things like that. I try to just stick to sports myself, so I'll touch on the sports. But yeah, new men's basketball, women's basketball, that'll be their new home. They'll have awesome locker rooms. I've seen the renderings. We've shown the renderings for it. Just second to none, I guess, especially in this conference and at our level. It'll be very impressive. So yeah, that should be about, I think it'll be about 8,500 people, 8,000, 9,000, right around there. That'll be able to sit, and I think 10,000 for concerts is the plan. So which will grow crowds there too. I know we were maxed out when we hosted GCU this last season. Wisdom Gym holds 2,500, or I think 3,000. They hold 3,000, and we held every bit of 3,000 in there. And you're turning people away at the door who want to watch a great game like that. There won't be any more turning people away who want to watch Tarleton State basketball. And we'll see about the court storming, since we stormed the court and it got pretty raucous. So we'll see about that. But otherwise, the arena, yeah. So that's coming to fruition, and then the plan is that volleyball will then be make Wisdom Gym their home as far as the basketball arena. They're getting a big lift of moving over to the basketball gym and being able to offer a lot more seating for them. It's just a better gym across the board, lighting, just the look of it, seating across the board.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, it's not just basketball and football. It's been every athletic program at Tarleton is getting upgrades, tennis facility, baseball, softball, and I believe you got soccer started there now.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty much when I list out everything and when I do interviews to hire staff, I'll just talk about the investment that Dr. Hurley has here, the administration, across the board. A lot of schools, it is just football focused, and that's definitely not the case here at Tarleton State. So since I came here 3 years ago, they've expanded. They changed the press box, added a brand new press box at both baseball and softball, expanded seating there. Actually got covered seating there. It used to not be covered, so you'd be baking in the sun. Fans would be baking in the sun. Just chair backs there. They renovated the field, so now it's turf, so less maintenance there, and changing the game there too. And I think they didn't even have lights there at those fields, so you'd play a lot of day games. I could be wrong, but now
I think you're right about that.
Yeah,
it was a whole lot of day games. I know that
we're playing night games now, which is paramount for baseball, softball, just in college landscape. And yeah, so we added soccer. They built a whole new soccer facility. We've added beach volleyball since I've been here. Added a whole new beach volleyball facility. They changed out, so they removed the track. Track used to be at Memorial Stadium, used to circle the field. So they removed the track at Memorial Stadium, put in a brand new track facility right next door. So it really is every sport has gotten a facelift or is very near one. Volleyball is kind of the one that was waiting for a little bit for it, and now they're going to be moving into Wisdom Gym, the basketball gym. So even where I'm sitting right now, they renovated the athletic admin building. So we got on the second floor, academic success center for all student athletes. It's really nice up there. A lot of great spots to study with all the staff up there ready to help them. And that's all on the second floor. So pretty much just exclusive student athletes up there. And then first floor here, we got a bunch of great new offices for all of us, for kind of the backbone, I guess, and the behind the sceners, where we belong.
Well, and you talk about that. You talk about fans, 10,000 for the event center for concerts and different things like that. I can already hear people saying, but what about parking at that place? Well, we have some good news about that too, don't we, Jake?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. So yeah, like you mentioned before, tennis. So tennis went over by baseball and softball. So they got a brand new facility that I failed to mention that opened in March. And so they took down the Potashman-Lard tennis courts out here, removed those, and I've already opened that whole where all the 6 tennis courts were, or even 8, I think it was 8. They changed that into all new parking. So that's already open and ready to go. They're opening up the parking garages now. open for use. That's I think a 4 or 5 story parking garage that's right by all these athletic venues, and so that'll be able to use. And then yeah, they're going to be building another parking garage north of campus. So there, parking is coming. Parking is arrived and it's coming.
Yeah, and you know, you're going to need it. And it not just athletics. This is the other thing I don't think people understand about Tarleton is how much you're growing as a student body. I was on the field for the new student run before the game against McNeese, and over 3,000 new students.
Yeah.
It was just a massive humanity running across the field. Give us a little information about how many new students, about how many they could have had, because I even heard Dr. Hurley say that he could have had up to 5,000 new students if he had dorm rooms for everybody.
Right. Yeah. The 3,000 students I build in about 5 minutes into the script for them to run, and I usually think that'll be a breeze, and then you just see them start to bottle up. You're like, uh-oh, we got the horse running here soon. We gotta speed this along. And there's so many of them that you don't think all 3,000 would show, but usually all 3,000 show. So it's a great experience there. And yeah, I think they said that this is the biggest, maybe a record freshman class that's coming in, or new class coming in. We're now, I believe, close to 18,000 students. I still have on my game notes and everything about 16,230 from last year's numbers. And I believe now, once it's official, it'll be close to being official. They're going to have close to 18,000 enrollees. So when I talk to alumni, they just can't believe it. We had Tally Neal out here, probably one of the better Tarleton State football players of all time. I think he has about 600 something tackles, and our next closest is about I think 300. So he's got double about the next closest in tackles. I don't know how they were statting back in the 70s, but when you see talent, you believe that he got every one of those 600 tackles. So talking to him, he can't, when he comes back, he just can't believe it. Every time you come back too, like you're saying, it just changes every time you.
Yeah, no, I was there last year, right? And I come back this year, and it's totally different again, because the parking garages are there, the event centers are there, right? Like, I mean, it's incredible, the growth, and the fact that this school is able to increase enrollment like they are, up to 18,000 at a time when a lot of universities are struggling with enrollment. I think it just goes to show the positive momentum, the positive force that Tarleton has, and that it all starts with the system, and it works its way all the way down through Dr. Hurley, and it just gets all the way down to the lowest levels.
Yeah, when you care about the people that you're around, and when you push, when you don't stop, you can get complacent a lot of times, and that's when things turn around, and then you're suddenly losing students. They never stop around here, and that's a good thing. I mean, in athletics, we want to be to where we are today. If people got complacent with winning, or just getting into D1, that's great. That could be enough for a lot of schools, but we want to compete and excel in D1, and we're just growing. We have the football team was unprecedented. I think they're one of 3 teams in the last 20 years to actually have winning seasons every year. Men's basketball was just second place, went to the hosted CIT semifinals here in Stephenville. I remember back in the day, I was watching the CIT. Can't imagine it ever being at Tarleton State. And in basically one of their first years, they were eligible for hosting something like that. They were hosting it. So it's when you care about the people around here, I think that's what makes this place special. There's a lot of care for your neighbor, a lot of care for your coworker and your fellow student. I know this staff is so, I want to say elite. This is an elite staff who really cares about student athletes. So as far as keeping and recruiting and retaining student athletes, which we do, we've not been hit hard by the transfer portal, definitely at football level. I think we have one of the fewest there. And I think we've shown our true selves and caring about student athletes. The president and administration shows and cares about the students. And as you know, there's so many unique traditions here that it just keeps you encapsulated. That the purple poo, plowboys, Pankus, Oscar P, the duck, I put in my football game notes the story of Tarleton's history with Waco and how he was almost poisoned by a bowl of berries. There's just so many, like, what the heck? Why was this in? There's just, Tarleton's a very unique place, and once you're here, you want to stay here.
You do. My son is 8 years old, And he was telling us at the McNeese game that that's where he wants to go to school. And it's because of all those things you talk about. But most important is the point that you hit on is how you treat your people. And how the people are treated around there is second to none. And so, man, it is great things going on at Tarleton. We are just so happy at Dave Campbell's to be partnered with you guys, and just really thrilled to see the growth and to see how you guys are going.
Yeah, and I appreciate your guys' partnership. You guys are, well, first of all, Corey Hogue is the man, so I'll say that. But Dave Campbell's, yeah, all you guys there are fantastic partners. We love working with you. We would love to have you out here for all of our games. I know we can only get you out here a few times, and it's always a treat when you do come out. But yeah, great partners, and we love to. That's when we get our players featured. I mean, I try to snag those magazines because our players and their parents just absolutely love it, and it's really cool to see us reach out and expand our reach to show how special this place is.
Yeah, definitely. And be careful what you say about that Corey Hogue fella. It may not always be good. Jake, thank you so much, man. Thank you for your time. And thank you for everything you do. Thank you. I'm telling you, it's the hospitality second to none for me. But not just me. When people go, when fans go into those stands, it's second to none there. It's just one more thing. I'm point this out. Well, you guys had the Texan Rider statue unveiling, and people throughout, and it was a hot Saturday afternoon, and you guys were giving out free water all over the place, had water stations. Those are not things you see at a lot of universities.
Yeah, a lot of people probably capitalize on the moment and raise bottles of water up to $10 to make sure that to reach their mark. But no, we just care about, we want people to come, and if they have a bad experience here, if they're hot and they have to leave, then what's the point of getting them out here in the first place? You want them to want to come back, treat them well, have a great time, and put on a good show, and do it again next week.
Yeah, no, you do a great job at it, Jake.
Well,
thank you so much, man. I appreciate everything you do.
Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, thanks for having me on.